Alright, yeah, working on the old Ford again today. I spot primed it and covered all the bare metal and everything, and also took some flat black and blackened out like these little struts in between these rectangular boxes. You know, if you don't do that, I've seen these grills both ways. You know, where they have these and everything, and when they're blacked out like this. And I think that was a Ford thing. You know, a lot of them came from the factory like that, and I think it looks a lot better. You know, let me stand this up. There we go. Because what happens when you got the black of the radiator behind it and all the other black, what it makes it look like these four rectangles are actually floating in the air, and it looks pretty neat. Matter of fact, let me see if I can step back here. Here we go. Yeah, like if you see this right here, this strut here, it just about disappears in the grill of the old coupe back there. So it gives it a simple, cleaner look. You know, if you don't black them out, then they sort of look confusing and stuff. You know, you really don't see anything particular. So I kind of like that look. So it's raining outside today, so I can't finish that. I can't paint the silver on there. So what we're going to do is we'll work on the headlights. We'll try and get them ready. That way we can paint them silver at the same time we paint the rest of that. And maybe I'll get the turn signals out, and they've been soaking for about a week in our special potion, and we'll see how they look. Maybe we can rewire them or something. So we'll try and get this out of the way. That way we can continue on. Now let me get the bucket and see what the turn signals look like. All right. I got the bucket over here filled with the magic fluid. Let's all check this out together. See how it is. Like I say, it's been about a week. Okay. There we go. Alright, from what I can see, it looks good already. So these were the headlight rings here. And let me see if you can see that. See it all wrinkled up and everything like that? See now? This is probably just overspray, so that's nothing real big. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to waste a stainless steel pad on that thing. We'll look at it. We'll check it out here. Look at that. Just wipes off. So just by sitting it in that bucket. See, I ran into a little spot here. It's a little tough, but hit that with some steel wool, and it'll come right off. Yeah, so that's how easy it is. You know, I mean, it didn't take any work at all. Now let's see what else we got in here. Put this little pan down so all this stuff don't wind up on the floor there. Alright. Here's the other ring. I'm just going to lay it over here. So we got it here. Oh. Alright. And here's the headlight bucket. And just by looking at it, see how wrinkled it is and everything? It's just going to peel right off. And this overspray here, that's just going to wipe off too. So it was worth just leaving it in there. This looks like this might be factory. Here it is blue. Our special solution didn't even touch that. So that's good. Alright, yeah, this stuff's going to clean up real easy. Now, what I really want to see is these pigtails here. Alright. It's looking good. It's looking good. Let me bring that up close to you. Look at that. There you go. So that'll peel off in one piece just about. Look at that. No fuss, no muss. Alright, and actually, inside this lens isn't rusted at all. So I'm not going to paint. I know some guys say paint it white, it looks brighter, and you know, hey, we're going to leave that original finish on there. So, alright, I'm going to clean these up, and then we'll show you what it looks like when we get done. I'm so happy. Alright, we cleaned everything up. These cleaned up real good. These cleaned up like brand new. You know, rear stainless. And cleaned these headlight buckets up too. And I found something interesting, you know. When I see something interesting, I like to point it out to you guys. You know, this black is the original finish. And the funny thing is, back then, they didn't prime anything. They just used the paint. And this paint is still shiny. And the liquid we had sitting in for a week had no effect on it. And I think it sticks so well because it probably had lead in it, you know, back then, 64. But like I say, they never used primer, but the paint had lead in it. But what I found interesting was this one here, you know, I hit it with a wire brush and stuff, and it was all black, just black inside and out. And then this one here, you can see like the white. And I can tell it's old paint because it's still sticking on there. And then on the inside it was painted too. And I'm wondering if Ford did that after they realized, you know, we get better reflection. You know, I don't know how much reflection you get from the back anyway, but if they realized you get better reflection when it's painted white, or if they had it painted white and then they said, geez, it really doesn't do anything, why waste our time or money? So you don't know which one came first. I think I'm just going to paint them black. I'm not going to worry about it. So but this here, these came out real nice. This one here is good. You know, the springs and everything are good in it. I can let me see which one goes where. This one goes here like this. You know, you put the bulb in, and it pushes in and pulls back and tightens right up, so it's good. This one here, the pins in it, you know, the springs are kind of dead. So I was just going to replace them, but I'm looking at it because I got these pigtails, you know, and these wires here have been spliced and diced. So I think I might want to keep this cover and maybe just cut that and then maybe use seam sealer in there to do it. But I have these pigtails, so I'll change them. And I'll see about just changing them springs there. But I checked this one out. I got me a 12-volt battery. I'll try and keep you guys in view there. And it looks about right. Let me see. Here we go, okay. Here's your travel light. It went out. Every time I look at you, it goes out. That's because I keep missing it. Okay. So that's the light when it's turned on. And then here's the turn signal. You see how bright that is? That's all you need. It works pretty good. Let me see if the 4-ways work. Yeah, they work good too. Okay, so I think I'm not even gonna mess with it, even though there is very slight surface rust in there. I cleaned up. It's not even anything worth worrying about. Same with this one. I may clean the back and prime them and stuff and paint them, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Like I say, it's not a restoration. We're just getting this thing back on the road and operating safely. So. Alright, let me, I guess the next thing we'll do is, I'm going to start working on these headlights, but right now, it's Sunday night. You'll see how far back, or how ahead I am on these videos. It's Sunday night, and I'm going to go in there and watch the Eagles and the Cowboys. So, I'll probably be back later on in this video, maybe tomorrow or something, but for now, I'm going to go kick back. So we'll see you guys later. Alright, we're back. Yeah, I just got done watching a football game. The Eagles had their heinies handed to them by the Cowboys. But, you know, what do you do? Alright, I scuffed this one down. This was the good one. Really didn't need any body work or anything to it. Well, I do have a little dent right here. I think I'll take care of that. I really don't have to, but I think I will. And then this one here, I wanted to check out down here, find out why it was bubbling. I don't know if you remember. But you see like some are real tiny bubbling. And here's some here. So I've seen a little break in the action here. So I took a razor blade and stuck it under there just to chip it out of the way. And I was able to peel this off in between coats, you know. Able just to take this this green coat off. So what happened there is this here is red oxide. You know, it's a lacquer primer, and it should be sanded, you know, before you put any kind of coat on there. You know, you can get a mechanical bond by spraying primer that, you know, you just finished painting and still slightly wet. But you can't do that with this because this is lacquer base and this is acrylic enamel. So if they had done that, well, this primer was still slightly wet and everything. This would have wrinkled up and it wouldn't have taken. So, but this actually tells me, this gives me an idea about how long ago this truck was painted. But looking at the bottom here, that brown primer is red oxide. You know, you don't see that very often anymore. And this red stuff, this is glazing putty. Pretty much everybody stopped using that back in the 80s. They started using the polyester stuff, you know, the regular body filler as glazing putty. But this car here, this bodywork was done back in the 70s, 80s, you know, and that's red oxide. But we're giving you a little history lesson here. Here's red oxide here. This is the stuff I'm talking about. And here's the nitrostan, red putty. See, if you look at this can looks brand new, but it's actually about 40 years old, 35, 40 years old. See, there's no code on the side. You know what they call them, a UPS code or something, a USP, UP something. This don't have that. Doesn't have any .com connections to get them on the internet and everything. But they pretty much stopped using this back in the 70s and 80s. So I would say I haven't seen this stuff since 1985 at least. So another thing, you know, you look at these two headlights and you can tell they're definitely from two mothers, you know. I don't know why, because I looked at that truck and you can tell it's never been hit. You know, the support, the front, the radiator support, radiator, however you want to say it. You know, isn't damaged. You know where the fenders are and stuff. So either they lost it, someone stole one of them, or maybe they just rolled into something and then damaged it. But I don't think they both came with the same truck. But anyway, let me put you up on a tripod and show you the dilemma we have right now. Alright, yeah, this paint here, you see if you take a razor blade, you can actually just cut away the, you know, get under there and, you know, get rid of it. That's actually holding pretty good. Some places I was hitting, you know, it was coming off in sheets. You go like right here, you know, it's coming off pretty easy. You know, I could take this and throw it in the bucket and come back in a couple days and it would all be off, but, you know, I want to work on it. Plus, I'd rather not take this primer off because of the body work that's already been done. You know, all this has been filled, you know. And I don't want to put all that work into it because I could actually buy these things. You know, they're pretty readily available. I know there's about 4 or 5 of them right now. So what I'm going to do is, it's late at night, I have nothing else to do. Matter of fact, it's the next day. I said I'd see you tomorrow. So I'm going to work on this, and here you go. You know, it ain't gonna take much to. Still in frame? It ain't gonna take much to peel this all off. And then I can sand it down, do the body work on. I lost the dent. Is the dent right here? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit here and listen to the music, and I just gotta peel this whole top coat off, and then even under here it looks kind of bubbled too. So that's probably not holding good. But anyway, enough talking. Let's do a little bit of work. I don't want to grind because, you know, it's so late. Plus, I don't feel like filling this place up with dust and dirt. And here you go. There's another break. I noticed that the other day because I dropped these by accident. I made a little chip, and I seen the way the chip was, and I said I shouldn't chip like that. So it's funny what you recognize. All right, let me. Ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to kick his. Let me peel some of this off, and we'll take a look at it, and then we'll get back with you. All right, yeah, I peeled the whole top coat off. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. It took about a half hour. Use a good sharp blade, peels it right off, and also scrape the back of it out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this with frame paint. So I keep that rust from going anywhere. And then we'll sand this down. Do a little body work here. I found some up here. I'll just do that, and then another little dent right here. We'll do that, and it'll be good enough, right? They're only headlight rims, right? All right. It's about 3 a.m. So I think maybe I'll go get a couple hours sleep, and then we'll see you later today. All right. Alright, well, that primer's drying. I think maybe I'll mess with these a little bit. This is the best of the two. This one just has a lot of breaks in the wire here and splices or whatever. But coming out of here, you know, is perfectly good. You know, and it's flexible. It's not like it's cracking or anything like that. So what I'm gonna do is just put a new pigtail on here. And we'll call that good. We'll solder it on and put some shrink tube on there, and it'll be as good as new. This one here is going to take a little more effort there. We're gonna have to dig deeper into that one. All right, let's put this one on for now. All right, yeah, we fixed this one here. We soldered this pigtail on and sealed it up here, shrink tubing. So this one should be fine. But this one here is going to be a little tough. I cut the back off of this and pulled these wires through. And what's in there is this thing. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, these little wires, they sit on springs. And they're not working. This one here looks like the spring is missing completely. You know, must have rotted off at one time. But what I think is, let me get these wires out of here. See these little brass things in here? I don't know how well you can see them. But anyway, I think they're supposed to slide inside this, I don't know if it's plastic or bakelite. Probably plastic. But anyway, I think they're supposed to go up and down. So I'm going to try and pop them out of there and loosen them up and see what happens. And maybe we can replace some springs and then go from there. If not, then we'll have to find another solution. Alright. See when we figure something out. Alright, yeah, we got this loosened up. I'll try and get it so you can see it. It's tough for me to see. But the wire is supposed to go on here. Like I said, this wire is completely, or this spring is completely gone. And this one here is just barely got it working. But these definitely aren't supposed to be serviceable. See what happens is this little wire goes in there, and then you know the spring's supposed to keep tension on it. See, so I got it. I sort of got it working, but see if I can get it working better and see if I can find some springs. Them springs look like they're maybe a little bigger than an ink pen, so I'm going to bust all the springs out of there and clean this up a little better. See if we can get this working, right? I want to throw that out. That's Ford Motor Company. I don't know if you can read that. Probably not. Ford FOMO. Alright. Alright. Yeah, we got some good news. You know, sometimes it's good to be lucky. And I was able to find a spring, the perfect size spring, which I didn't think I'd be able to do because it actually has to fit inside this hole here and then just be the right size to fit around that spool. And excuse me. Yeah, what I was going to do, I was going to cut the titty off of this. Not cut it off, but you know, it's only crimped on there. Uncrimp it, and then have to crimp it onto this. But because I thought if I spliced them together with a shrink tube on, I thought it was going to be too thick to go through that hole. But I put a little test piece of shrink tube on here, and it's not going to be any problem at all. It's going to go right in there. So we got this working good. I was surprised, you know. I had my doubts. You know, sometimes that happens. You see the springs? Just got to have a little tension, a little spring tension. So that's working good. So I'm going to put it together and see if I got enough spring tension on there to hold that light bulb in place. So let me put that together. Alright, we got our little mechanism in there in place, and there's a high lobe and a short lobe. You got to make sure they're in the right slots, and then you just push it in and hold it like that, and it should be fine. Now if you look at it, I don't know if you can see that, but see the way it goes up and down? It means there's plenty of spring tension on there. That's just what we want. So alright, let me go splice these together, solder these together, and then maybe put some seam sealer on there, and we'll call it done. Alright, we'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, yeah, that went well. So before I seam seal this back here, let's check it out. Let's test it before we put the new. I got the new light and gasket, so let's give it a test. Ground it out here. Can you see that? Can you guys see that? Okay, I couldn't see the light. It was a shadow. Okay, here's your parking light or your driving light, whatever you want to call it, and here's your turn signal. Alright, we're happy with that. Let's put it together. Alright, yeah, we put it together. I like the way it looks, and got the gasket in there, so it's sealed. And there is a top and bottom to this lens. If you guys put them on, there's like a little tiny little hole in the bottom here in case water gets through to get rid of it. So alright, let's try it. You know, a lot of guys just say, what, you know, paint it white, paint it black, put LEDs in it, you know, and turbocharge it. You know, they say all kinds of stuff. But to me, they're bright enough. I mean, if you can't see this light, then you're doing something other than driving. You know, you're texting or something. So let's see. You get a good ground here. I can't see where I'm at. Alright, yeah, here we go. You see, now if you can't see that, you know, there's something wrong. So, alright, I call that a success. You know, at first, to me, that didn't look too hopeful, but you don't know. You know, stick with stuff and sleep on it once in a while. So, alright, what do you guys say? Enough of this? Alright, we'll see you in the next one.